Answer nebeko in the story so no mesre nyanso na tie me. And the Ghana for bebre yare a ekuyen eye stroke, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Na saa yare we ni na no. The underlying factor eye ade a wo broni friend visceral fat. Now her screen is so a we eye doctor a website. Now what trust say visceral fat. Visceral fat wraps around your organs, creating inflammation and interfering with organ function. This fat causes a big belly. Now one thing about visceral fat and it's engrofo Rebecca, oh yebenu me bibidru ebema yefu atwe, yebenu me dru ebema mefu atwe, visceral fat no obwa, obi obeka dozo we dru bia obenum na wefu atwe no obwa. Because belly fat no e dru bia ni ho ebetumi amana akofom. You only lose belly fat when you decide to lose weight. Na me ti hei, mi obi a na first mi obi belly fat no na mi obi visceral fat no na mi obi. Ena ende mini ohwa mefu atwe. Na enyama me ye no eye method bi a me friend no the WWE method. Me dia throw book no or comment box ni mo. So open book ni bi ato a eno ane se wa click comment box ni mo na tre se what to book no. And na screen so book ni din eye your action plan for weight loss. Na wa click na wa pe book no ato. Ye ka eduro eye duane a ye di. Obi a wo be ka tro so ye pe eduro be ma ye fu atwe bia no me se oboa. Mesrew eduro ye duane e bedi. Nti metre we duane a obedi ni na wo book nim ene nyama e wo se wo ye. Nti no get the book and then live healthy. Yanko in the story so. So it looks like today is this story is the third story on the suspended Chief Justice. Now, breaking news are ever as reported by a year 3 news, a year TV3 for media platform, and they say the suspended Chief Justice no, as answer call a year High Court say yen declare the shining stars and one of the petitioners no non-existent in law. Yebehem na yama enkrofo ate nsemo ase. And the first time I subscribe and I click the notification bell on so am I. Now currently the suspended Chief Justice no way Emma suit no AF4. Now she has a human rights suit at the High Court or judicial review of Supreme Court airborne insemneguno wasanso akobium asisia no or say judges 7 entina case ni so wasanso akọ ECOWAS interne na the third case and wasanso file a new case ewo High Court ka say petitioners no into utumi hu ne say every single angle. So she's going at the human rights, she's going for human rights infringement, she's going for human rights infringement. She's going for that. She's going for ECOWAS no, and also human rights, and even with the ECOWAS, she's going for compensation, not just defamation, and so a woman. What you see, and then she's just going at as I say, with the attack from all angles. So to only more, but now what's the board Nasia with your attack from left flank, right flank, middle, center, baby. I say, oh, what you say, call now or to arrows no from every single angle. Into group back one or more petition no, or say High Court and declare say group no a non-existent. Now we will go into the law and then we are you see all these things me as someone can say at the end of the day it is making me believe more and more say yeah she had no right whatsoever to be a Chief Justice because social cases are filing and yama filing nana and mami who say sebe ye try yanko law school and I say yetim run a simple channel but a yedi intiana abanesa is it just desperation? Is it just delusion? Or she's being exposed? Let's read the story. As a suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo has filed a fresh action at the High Court seeking a declaration that shining stars does not exist in law. The organization is behind one of the petitions seeking the removal of the Chief Justice. Lawyers for the Chief Justice say there are no records showing the existence of any such organization. The first thing I work on is say, organization, from Shining Stars, no. Yanka say they don't exist in law because be any one crata be anywhere trace or more exist. Activity be anywhere trace or more exist. No problem. I say in the suit cited by 3 News, Justice Torkornoo is praying the High Court to declare the Shining Stars of Ghana as non-existent in law or fact. Torkornoo also wants the High Court to declare as void the petition filed by the Shining Stars of Ghana to the President on February 14, 2025. That is no, they don't exist. In the petition, our model comma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, would you so a final prima facie case no. So omo existed there, not just a petition no a ebola. Asemwa Torkornoo or canono. Also a declaration that the petition made to the President and dated 14 February 2025, allegedly uttered by a group called the Shining Stars of Ghana is void on account of the fact that the Shining Stars of Ghana does not exist in law or fact, the suit noted. Was the other relief sought? A declaration that the purported prima facie finding stroke determination in respect of the petition by the Shining Stars of Ghana made by the President in consultation with the Council of State and indicated in the communication by the Secretary to the President dated April 22nd, 2025 is now void and of no effect. An order to bring up into this court for the purpose of accordingly squashing the purported prima facie determination stroke finding made by the President in consultation with the Council of State and indicated in the communication by the Secretary to the President dated April 22nd, 2025. Now, going on. It's basically, no, Nkrofo say omo existed there, not to say in some of the abani nano, eni jinabi anti yembongu na asem no. You see, this is very rich coming from the Chief Justice Torkornoo. Extremely rich coming from her. Unim dentia. Yeti krom ha ena ekobia ye from now listen to this story, right? This story, let me read the story when tremor. And this story is as far back as May. Also, CSO files Supreme Court suit to stop Chief Justice removal. Emra ye say ye removing no. Ekobi eba bontin ekoko file say yembo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama the removal process no engu emeko ni lusu court case no. Ekwo no mudini the Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems. The Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems has filed an application at the Supreme Court to keep suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo in office. According to the group, the suspension of the Chief Justice by President John Dramani Mahama violates key provisions of the 1992 Constitution, particularly Article 17, 1 to 3, 23, 296, and 146, 14, and 6. They said the procedure lacked due process and failed to uphold the principles of fairness, non-discrimination, and lawful administrative conduct as enshrined in the Constitution. Consequently, the group is asking the Supreme Court to declare that the President's response to 3 petitions seeking the Chief Justice's removal was unconstitutional. Meanwhile, a 5-member committee established by President Mahama to probe the case is set to commence hearings today. And basically, this was the case. Ekona from Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems. Na meno economy ntio mudinda. Now, yetina krom ha ekono eko court. Uko Google na ubisa AI ekoni din a asemo Google no be ka kire on say the Center for Citizenship as a specific institution does not exist in Ghana. Ekona omoko court na nkomo ko ama maami no. Ubisa AI Google AI a. AI na asemo be ka kire on say ekoni kra no yenti omudin da wo Ghana. But you see, omo aba be pie mu e wo court. Say yembo eye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ensem engu no. Na wo say court no etie, no mutie argument no. Inti court tie argument no, omo anka se ekuo no mon existe, Inti nsemu amode ba ntokwa amo beko no enye mo ntokwa nti mo nko dabi. Court ka say based on mo argument no muku no mu elusu. Now the reason why a court ka say based on mo argument no muku no mu elusu ene say Ghana embra ema nkrofo kwan say wo mo beti ekuo bia wo mo pe. And you see, that's what I'm saying. Say the understanding of Gertrude Torkornoo through ne suit ya wo filing ni nano. Ama ye ni na ati ase se maame no na im se Ghana mbra na kra no nti ase ye de ne ye chief justice no em se na enye Ghana mbra na ode ye nansi asemba na maba be read law atrem nti na mumu bi no mo frame ya na mo ka trem se menya na menko law school no menya imagine se menko law school ba mumu bi mo se menya na menko law school because asembi aba na me read maba be fa Ghana mbra na me read atrem. But let's go into Ghana's constitution. And let's see what the constitution says about forming groups and why today, Mameno, court say court no declare a group non-existent. Say Ghana court ne krano over 2 minutes over to me declare group non-existent ana. Say me de mepe afo me group. Me see group no yefeno MELODIES Supporters Association. O se court embo me group ningu say a non-existent. Yen ha Ghana mbra se Ghana mbra ne ebetumi ama court ne sa to me. Any Ghana mbra article 21 or say general fundamental freedoms. It's here for Mr. Muntie general fundamental freedoms into ye Ghana niya. There are certain freedoms bia and no embran to me engine free same. Any one or say all persons shall have the right to a freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media. Into obia wo ho kwan se wo betumi akasa. A freedom of speech and expression. Oye Ghana ni na wo man we mu a freedom of speech. Obi anim sa ade. Freedom of thoughts, conscience and belief, which shall include academic freedom. School bia pesa okọ wo Ghana bia no. E wo se e ma kwan na kosa school no. Me a meti hei, my imagine say me law school a. Eni kwan se wo bi sorry ka se da bia so mesi ma ne law school. Me wa kwan aden e odia. Any school what you say? So freedom of thought. Adwen bia me pesa me dwen bia no. Untumi jim free me nsem. E ma adwen na me dwen. Freedom of conscience and belief. Dia me pesa me believe wo mu bia. Intanende Christopher ne dos wo Ghana de. Nanso obi ba abonte na oba be ka se oye Hindu ni a. Christo ni hu kwan se wo se wo che se nipa kro ne bono. Oba abonte na wo ka se ono de ye nananom esombosom nti ono so be sombosom a. Utumi nkwa che ne se wo sombosom. Even though Christopher does no krum ha. Because e wombremu freedom of belief. Obi se wo no de wo gidi se obebo mpaye Sunday, obebo mpaye Monday, obekwa asori Monday, obekwa asori Tuesday, Thursday, obi antumi nya ne hwe eye ne gidie. As a freedom to practice any religion and to manifest such practice. Oye Ghana ni, oye freedom say religion bia obe join it. Inti obi se wodi ni sika akokotua title, obi ntumi nkonkwo che ne wo ho. Because the person has the freedom to manifest the practice of the religion. A tight to ya. Also, freedom of assembly, including freedom to take part in processions and demonstrations. Freedom of assembly. Me, wo, obi, ya frɛ sɛ, oh, MELODIES ebusuafo. Ebi a MELODIES ebusuafo ma frɛ me. Yen konko hia wa Accra mo. Ni yakɔ ni akwa ko hia wa Accra mo. Obi antumi, obi anu kwan so obeba sɛ wo ba ba be chi yen. You have freedom of assembly. Freedom of association. No, freedom of association, which shall include freedom to form or join trade unions or other associations, national and international, for the protection of their interests. Or see freedom of association. You will right say ye person ye joining a kuobia ye person ye joining. You will right here will say ye to me for me a kuobia ye person ye for me. Which shall include freedom to form or join trade unions. Me tonwadie, o tonwadie, ye nina ye tonwadie, ye si, oh, ye nti kuo. E kuo na ye eti no. in toes folk obi eni hu kwan se was stop yen yeni na ye taxi drivers interna na say we ha taxi drivers say be a taxi rank bi no matikuo obi eni hu kwan se also stop your mo a freedom of association. They have the right to join any trade union or other associations, national and international. So ye Ghana ni ekuo bi ewa abrochire or say from Ghana ho person join say ekuo no obi enu hu kwan say also stop no. Inti ende ekuo bi ye from the shining star. Esi omo afomi kuo omo aba be petition president. Say president no only one free ho. President na hwe omo nsem ni mo hu say aba wom within braso as a suspended chief justice. O court say court ni mbo ekuo ni ngu say ekuo no omo ye fake. Ejawajo hey. Court ni mbo ekuo ni ngu say ekuo ni ye fake. Meanwhile, the article 21E is telling us say every single person has the freedom of association. Say ekuo no omote no 20 minutes impo ansa na womo 70 petition na it is a legal ekuo. Omote no 1 second ansa no mo for me the law, the constitution didn't put a time frame. Say ekuo no be valid only after ebia 10 business days. Ekuo no be valid only after 20 working days dabi. I say you have the right. So once I decide, minimum ayeti hey, you decide say ye for me ko. The moment you decide ya Ghana mbrase ye legal. So you want the High Court to declare say ekuo no non-existent because you think that there is no prior record. You think there is no prior record? What are you telling me? There's no prior record. So ekuo bi I don't understand. I maintain the argument and I say. So you need to have a prior record before you are eligible to be called a group. What is it? What is our mother saying? What is our mother saying? Immediately we decide to form the group. Immediately, that second we form the group. You don't need a prior record to prove that we are a legal group. We are a group. That the group is non-existent. The same person are non-existent group. And there will see a group be a non-existent into your masem endimu. What are you saying? Ebimu ya Ghana for si ebimu ana. Just because a Kobe she said Chief Justice no person train say the only people who can speak or can petition against her. A kwa ache for 10 years ana. Just a single person, single citizen can petition against you. So even if it is just one person against that group, you can't tell me say the group is non-existent. Now, the group near non-existent. No, there was a person who signed. Why are we doing this? Why is the Chief Justice doing this? Let's see something. Let's see something. Petition. Yen cheki ekuo no the full petition from the Shining Stars of Ghana, right? Yen cheki the full petition and then you understand. You see, when things like this come, now yen cry yen lawyers no. Ye treachery nsem ni mu. Na kwa ye say yen tias ye say a Chief Justice empo confiscal. You see, it's not speaking well for her. Seriously. What this makes me think, and they say, so all this time and now all Supreme Court or no, na embrabe na no dibu, because if this is her thinking, then it is worrying. No. Some of the things we've heard, and in Sambia walkie cano, sana naturally what then it was worrying. Say, mami, ya de no kwatina ho say, onye Chief Justice. I'm not going to lie to you. It's here for. This is the group. The Shining Stars, right? This is the group. At the end of the day, Omutro letter no. There was a chairman, there was a signee to the group. So what is this woman saying? What is this? What is the chief? What is the suspended chief? What is our mother saying? A quanitro letter, there was a signature. There was a signee to it, and it didn't Kingsley AJ, who is the chairman and convener. Sorry. Is it Hey, Melodies for me. Is that frame about the correct me? Is it convener, right? The convener of the group. Kingsley AJ, chairman and convener. I don't know. I feel like I'm not pronouncing the word well. Let me correct myself before a teacher phone na motie me no. Mo ba be frame ya academy say word we want money ye. Convener. Aye, me growth. Hello, this is a teacher's phone over frame me. Hey, what's that? Word we want money ye. Yeah, pronunciation ye say. No, Melodies me domo. The way you people correct me, I like it too. I like it rough. I say Kingsley AJ, chairman and convener. So as far as there is a name, because the Constitution doesn't say, Ebia, Obia, we di 1, we di 2, we di 3, in the Betumia petition. As far as the person is a Ghanaian, the person has the right to petition. So even if una will claim it's a group no a non-existent, as far as there is a name to the group and a telephone number, and there is a signee, that person, who therefore group no krato in chain, it's not a group na nipa na for me group. So that person is responsible. It is legal. How? It's I say, oh, Kinanto kwa benkreni. Charlie, ento kwa benkreni. Your mommy per say, there is not there, but she's forcing there to be there. We brought for our kind. There is not there, but she's forcing there to be there. How can you go to court and tell court say anyway? How can you go to court and tell court say maybe? Oh, where is it? This is Shining Stars for way no. How can you go to court and tell court say declare the group non-existent in law? How? Whilst the Constitution Article 21E is saying every single person has the freedom to form any group at any time they want. Or say the group is non-existent in law. How? How does this even make sense? How? Share Article 21, right? This is Article 21, 1E. Article 21, 3 nekrana. Now, here, Article 21, 2. Or say a restriction on a person's freedom of movement by his lawful detention shall not be held. I know they are different. But Article 21, 3, or say all citizens have the right and freedom to form or join political parties and to participate in political activities subject to such qualifications and laws as are necessary in free and democratic society and are consistent with the Constitution. Or say nothing in or done under the authority of a law shall be held to be inconsistent with or in contravention of this article to the extent that the law in question makes provision, A, for the imposition of restriction by order of court that are required in the interest of defense, public safety, or public order on the movement or residence within Ghana of any person. And you see, some freedoms here ye kaninano. You see, nini na obetumi ama nipa kron ne ho kwan. Now the only time ebia ye mo obi ho kwan won say yakase obi betumi asom obetumi akwa sorry and am obetumi akwa bodom pem ewo baabi what you say but the only time ebia mbra ne nya adwuma ne say bebi amokọ bodom pem no eho ye danger zone ene de ye ntumi mamo nko what you say accident esi wo baabi police for e was say wo ba ho ba be check ho yes ye jabe ishi wo baabi o de say you have the freedom to association and a freedom to gather in, anywhere into no ko gather wo da bia ne de ye mpene nti that is the explanation into her chief justice ono ne de no the exclusion constitution ne kra mana ono ne de ne kra is not really excluded because we say against public safety until you have the freedom to demonstrate but baby amoko demonstration no if it is against public safety then what you say sa freedom no ye be bisa ho nsem kakra what you say until chief justice removing no it is not against public safety bia so why can you go to court and even on Onokran, she's not going to court to tell them say it is against public safety nti boncrofoning same good abi wakwa court specifically what can say the group no existed because they don't have prior records and I am also telling you say for a group can be formed in just a second. Once that group is formed in a second, they have the rights and all the freedoms are constitutional to petition the president for your removal. They don't need to have a prior record before you call them a legit group. Don't you understand? Me person me set a company up. Ebia, the processes involved in setting up a company, no, I'll have to go through those processes. Once I go, now me register company needing, now me go through the process. Near time says the company is legal. So that time, no, I don't have any prior record. That second they tell me the company is legal, the company is legal. I don't have a prior record. And so you can't come and tell me, say, because I don't have prior record, and no, just that second now, I actually say company ni illegal, I can't hold myself as the company being legal. How does this make sense? How? It's a WhatsApp group. Ni na ya WhatsApp group. Some minute ya me say ya WhatsApp group. Ni WhatsApp group and they ya na ma send no invite link. Now they unwa ba bekan group ni. Some moment ya me send no WhatsApp group no. Say you need prior record bia oko group ni mo a fresh. Obi anka sai, obi anka hwewom. Inti ma me nsem wo kan say because group ni fresh inti no. Group no illegal. Inti eni kwan say omotumi petition tiano. But send America no, the constitution of this country, the framers of the constitution of this country, they knew say people might raise issues like this. And so they weren't specific to say obi awedi 5 years. And oye eligible. Eligible say no omra meye we. Obi awedi onye eligible so be we. What I said, they didn't say that. And so as far as they will say group no, I mean so many arguments no. As far as I will say group no, and as a sticker na me say petition no, nipa kra will throw letter no. There is a signee. There is a signee. Your friend Kingsley J. That is all you need. All you need is a signee. Because the constitution says, once a let us read that side again. Let's read that side. Let's read that side again for people who don't understand. Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. Let's read that side again. Did the Constitution specify, say, the petition should come from only a group that has been registered for 10 years or only a person who is 50 years old? Did the Constitution say that? I say where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice. Still, I say if the president receives a petition, the framers of the Constitution knew, so they didn't specify. Say if the president, if the president receives a petition from a legal person, maybe our trust said the legal person should be someone who is just 50 years and above. Or the legal person should be a group. But I say if the president receives a petition, inti emfa ho or ya motia o or ya mframa or ya sunsumo ne ba kro na tro petition ne ba na ne din won ho na the signature bon call, it will go through. If it is a group that has been registered today, it has not been registered, it has been registered in a second, it has no prior record, it has record, a petition, or say if the president receives a petition. If you're ho, if you're Bema ho, if you're DNN ho, or say if the president receives a petition. Me see if you're Motiakra ho, or see if the president receives a petition. As far as the person is a Ghanaian, it is a petition. Please, as a make asadodo. Minya lawyer ni. So mama babe read me mom na me read mo ye chief justice mo ananka mo yesa mutumi tretre mre mo ma ye tiase no mo crampo no mo ma ye tiase say ase embra na class de mo nje na nso mbra no mo tiase pa ho. You people are making it look like asset say embra na ase de mo ntiase bi. How can you go to court with something like this? How? A chief justice mo. E dey na ekoso say. How can you go to court? Declare the group non-existent. That the High Court should declare the group non-existent? How? Me matina me demo me ma for me group. No, maybe I'm taking the thing too much on the high. But me matina me demo me ma for me group no. Oh, kwa se court nimbo me group ningu. Me matina Charlie. Sometimes them brought to me that name got a same fan. Bring my for me group. Oh, court say court imbo group ningu. Say group no, non-existent. Bring my for me group. My for me group no, non-existent. Say non-existent say. My for me group the dia to so say non-existent. Una how better me group you non. Aje. Una how better me group say me group you non-existent. That group forming day. How long should it? How can you tell me my group is non-existent? How? Charlie. Ejevo muntre waje. That's it.